What's going on, y'all? This is Quan from Befitnomenal. So in this video, I'm going to give you my 12-step health and fitness audit. So before you have to go reach your health and fitness goals, before you can actually start getting on the journey, before I start giving you tips, all of that stuff, we need to do an audit to see exactly where you are. That way we can put you in the right direction the fastest way possible. So let's get into it. So for the first step, I want you to ask yourself, do I know why I want to change? Yes, you might want to lose 30 pounds, you might want to lose 50 pounds, or you might just want to get more fit in general, but why do you actually want that? So this is a really important question because a lot of people cannot reach their goals because they have no why attached to it. They're like, well, yeah, it'd be nice to look a little slimmer, or it'd be nice to be fit, but I have really no reason to do it. And that is a big gap, because if you don't know your why, it's going to be hard to actually be committed to actually getting your goal. So every time I'm talking to a client or a potential client, I'm like, okay, what's your goal? Okay, why do you want that? Then they might say something, well, I want to be healthier for my kids. I want to get off high blood pressure. So I want you to think to yourself, okay, what is my goal in general, and why do I actually want that? Do I just want to look better? Is it for my kids? Is it because I want to become a better person? Really figure out your why, and then let's dive into the next step. Let's go into number 2. All right, so for the second one, I want you to ask yourself, do I know who I need to be and exactly what I need to do in order to reach my desired result? So whatever your desired result is, you're going to have some type of traits, you're going to have some habits that you need to adopt in order to get to your goal. So I have a client right now, Melanie. She wants to lose 100 pounds. I'm telling her, like, okay, if you want to lose 100 pounds, it's not only the workout, you need to be a certain person first in order to get that result. So whatever your goal is, ask yourself, do I actually have the traits? And if you don't, that's fine. You can actually get that. But you need to become that type of person in order to get those results. So we want to reverse engineer this. So are you the person that you need to be? Do you know exactly what you need to be? Do you know exactly what you need to do in order to get those desired results? The third step I want you to ask yourself is, do I have a clear goal? So think of it like this. I have a lot of clients who just want to lose, all right, I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to become more fit. But let's just I want to use 10 pounds for an example. So Ashley, she wants to lose 10 pounds. But a lot of times what I see, when people actually lose the 10 pounds, they're still not really satisfied. So you want to get clear on what your goal is. Is it the weight loss, or do you want to fit in a certain pant size? Do you want to have more energy? Do you want to have whatever? So really be clear on your goal. Do you want to get to a level of body fat that you want to reach? Really be clear and specific on your goal, because if you say, I just want to lose a little bit of weight, you might lose 5 pounds, and then there you go, you hit your goal. But really be clear and specific on your goal so you can know exactly how to get there. The more clear you are, the faster you can get there. All right, so step number 4 is, whenever you figure out your goal, I want you to break that goal up into 1 year and then break it up into quarterly goals. See, a lot of people, when they're actually trying to reach a goal, they want it so quick. So I can tell somebody's not going to reach their goal when they ask questions like, well, how long is this going to take? Or do you think I can do it in 2 months? Do you think I can do it in 3 months? I'm like, yeah, it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to take you a year to reach whatever goal that you have, but I want you to look at it that way. I want to break it up in a year and then break it up into quarterly goals. So even if you want to lose 30 pounds each quarter, say, okay, I want to lose at least 10 pounds a quarter, or even if I lose 20 pounds, I want to lose the next 10 the next quarter. If you reach that goal a lot faster, that is fine. But even when you reach a goal, there's a maintenance stage. So you might be in a fat loss stage, and then you need a maintenance stage. Then you might want to tone up your stage. So there's a lot of different stages in a journey. You can't just like lose the weight and think you're going to look ideally how you want to look. You might have to maintain that for a while. You might hit a plateau. You might need to do some strength building. So break it up. So give yourself an amount of time, whatever goal that you have, break it up into quarterly goals, make it manageable, and then attack it that way. So step number 5, what I want you to ask yourself is, have I broken my goals into small, manageable, actionable daily tasks? All right, so I'm gonna give you this one tool that I actually use with my clients. It is called Habit Share. So it's really good because you can track your habits each day, and then all you're worried about is one day. So you can't do anything about tomorrow because it hasn't came, and anything yesterday that happened is too bad. It already happened, so we can't do anything. So we really want to focus on each day and break those up into small, manageable tasks. So for example, if you want to drop 20 pounds what do you need to do each day to get you closer to that goal. So download the app. It's called Habit Share. You can actually track your habits. I tell clients, if you can track your habits, you can track your results. So break your habits into small, manageable goals and then do it that way. All right, step number 6. This is what I want you to ask yourself. This is probably one of my favorite ones, is do I actually have a morning routine that is suited for my fitness and health needs? So if you're a busy professional, if you're anybody, you're going to go into obstacles, there's going to be setbacks, you're going to have times you don't feel like wanting to do it. So every morning I want you to have a routine in place that's going to get you ready for the day. So do not start the day until you finish the day and you know exactly what that looks like. So every morning, the first thing I do is I play some type of motivational video, motivational audio that gets me started for the day. I drink my green drink that's going to help me with my energy and my digestion, and then I start writing out my task and what I'm going to do. Of course, I exercise and have a lot of things now on my morning routine, but I want you to figure out something that is easy, that you can sustain in the mornings, that you can consistently do. So it might have nothing to do with your fitness routine or your eating, but just staying in a routine, staying consistent is going to help you with all other areas. So a quick tip is a thing called guaranteed threes that I use. So choose 3 things that you're going to do that's non-negotiable in the morning that will help you towards your goals. So I don't care, it could be something like I'm going to drink a glass of water. All right, in the mornings I'm going to make my bed up, or in the mornings I'm going to read 1 page of a book. So choose 3 guaranteed threes that you're going to do in the morning, and then as you be consistent with this, it's going to help you be consistent with all areas. So as we do anything, we do everything. So make sure you implement that morning routine. Step number 7, and this is one that you really don't want to miss, because if you miss this one, everything's going to be out of whack. And that is, do you have a weekly routine on how you're going to actually eat that's going to fit with your work and then your lifestyle? So what I do is I tell clients is every week, don't try to plan out your whole month. Don't try to plan out your whole quarter. Just do it day by day and week by week at the most. So plan out each week separately, because we know we might be traveling, we might have social events. Each week, look at that separately, and then each week is like a start of a new journey. So make sure beginning of the week you have a plan of how you're going to eat. You might not want to do a meal prep every single week. Maybe you know yourself, you're like, I know I'm not going to be eating that and I'm going to get tired of that foods. Or I know my friend's going to hit me up and I got a social event or I got to travel and I can't actually keep that up. So make sure you have some type of routines, make sure you have some type of plan or strategy in the beginning of each week before you start that week. All right, step number 8, I want you to ask yourself, do I know my workout days and do I know what I'm going to be doing on those days? See, a lot of people, they get lost and they get stuck because they're like, okay, I got a plan. I'm going to work out 3 times a week. I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, Monday comes, they're like, okay, I'll just do legs. Then Wednesday comes and they're like, maybe I'll do a little legs, maybe I'll do a little chest. Friday comes, then they're just thinking they don't have a plan or a strategy. So that is going to push their results much further. So what you want to do is have a plan and a strategy before you even actually do the workout. So you want to know exactly what you're doing on each day. What that's going to do is save you time, and that's going to accelerate your results because you're hitting the muscles frequently, repeatedly over and over. So what I do for my clients is actually build a plan that's called a periodized training plan. So what we do is every 4 weeks they have a certain plan and they follow that week after week. And then from there, we do what's called progressive overload. So it pushes them a little bit further. But I just want you to know is each day you need to have a plan and you need to know exactly what you're doing. So I don't care if you have to write it out, ask a friend, put it in the schedule, but know what you're doing on which day and what days you're actually working out. All right, step number 9, I want you to ask yourself, what am I doing to get optimal sleep every night? So sleep might sound something that's just irrelevant when it comes to health and fitness, but it is super relevant. If you're not getting enough rest, your muscles, you can't recover, your body is going to be having a hard time metabolizing food. Everything is going to be thrown out of whack. So what I suggest is you get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. So earlier I told you about the Habit Share app. You can even put that in your app to actually track that. So I want you to get enough sleep every night. I tell clients If you're super tired, if you're always drained, I would even recommend you skipping your workout just to get that extra rest. Of course, I don't want you skipping your workout all the time, but there's no point of working out if you're just super drained and tired. You need to get your body to an equilibrium. You want your body to be in a state of like, all right, I can do this, and not just always drained, because you're not going to actually reach your goals that way. So make sure you optimize sleep. Make sure you prioritize sleep at least 6 to 8 hours per night, and have a strategy to execute on that. All right, step number 10, and it probably should have been step number 1, is to ask yourself, what is my biggest obstacle to succeeding? So before you even do any of this, you want to know, like, okay, what's been stopping me in the past? Is it because I binge, or I go on quick diets, or do I do hard workouts and I always hurt myself? What is your biggest obstacle? And then once you know that, you can actually prepare for it in advance. So if you're a binge eater, if you're an emotional eater, or if you can't be consistent with your workouts, figure out what that biggest obstacle is. That way you can put a plan in place this time and actually overcome that, or get some help so you can overcome that obstacle. Because if you keep running into the same wall, you're not going to actually reach your goal. So figure out what your biggest obstacle is, plan for that in advance, like I said, week after week, because everything is going to change each week. So week after week, figure out what's my biggest obstacle, how can I overcome that, and then get started. Step number 11, I want you to ask yourself, what am I doing mentally and emotionally to actually prepare for this change? Of course, we all want to look better, we want to feel better, but it is really a mental game to actually get to that point, because you have to really become a new person. So like I said earlier, what I do is every morning I prime myself with motivational videos. I read my goals over, I look at the body that I want to have, and I have a support group that kind of helps me. But what are you doing mentally? Do you have a support group you can talk to? Just ask yourself, what are you doing mentally? I think one of the easiest things to do is go on YouTube every morning, the thing that I do, and then you can actually listen to those videos. And what that does is train your subconscious is to have that belief and that identity that you are that person. So that's one of the things that I like to do. I don't care if it's a book, I don't care if it's therapy. Ask yourself, what are you doing mentally? Because physically, you can be feeling great, you can be going hard, and you probably experienced this before. You can just hit burnout and you just want to stop. So that's why your mental health, your emotional health needs to be intact as well. All right, and then the last step number 12, I want you to ask yourself, do you have some type of form of accountability or support? Okay? Even LeBron James, one of the best basketball player ever, has trainers, he has coaches, he has people supporting him. If you watch him on the news or you watch him on ESPN, he always has a bunch of people around him, and that's his support team. It might be his assistant coaches, it might be his trainers, it might be his family. But you want you to ask yourself, who is my support? And a lot of times, even if you don't have anybody, if you're working out at a gym, or if you have just a family member that lives with you, ask them. A lot of times, what you can do is a little hack. If you're going to the gym, just see somebody at the gym. You never even have to talk to them. But a lot of times when I'm going to the gym in the mornings and I don't feel like it, I know that person that I never really talk to, but I see that always there at the same time. They are my support group, and they don't even know it. So you can use things like that. The easiest thing is to use a family member, or to call a friend, or invest in a trainer or a coach. But ask yourself, do I have some type of support? Because I don't care how hard you go, how good you are, how consistent you are, you're always going to have those days that you feel like you don't want to do it, and that's going to help you keep going and being consistent along your journey. So consistency is a huge thing when it comes to reaching these goals. So I hope these 12 steps have really helped you out. I really want you to implement these before you actually attack on your fitness goals. I know you can do it. So if you're enjoying this content and this process, I put some time aside on my calendar. So I'll put the link below. You can actually check that out. Schedule a time that works for you. We can schedule a free fitness strategies that make sure you're on the right track. Talk to you soon.